Yeah, this is very haram, but this is inside Iran. This is a video. I kid you not. This is a video from how many days has it been? It's not even, it hasn't been even a week. Parastoo Ahmadi. Let me look at her channel. I should bring up her own channel. I should give you the link to this channel. Yeah, this is only 6 days old. This is only 6 days old. No, it's not just music, guys. Music is allowed in Iran, but women singing and women without hijab and women showing this much skin. Let me bring her. Look at them level of skin she's showing. Yes, she got arrested, but now she's freed again. She knew that she was, but she's going to go back to prison soon. They're going to bring her to court. And do you understand what this is? This what you're watching, guys? You're not watching a woman sing. This is max level courage. This woman did this in Iran with the full knowledge that she's about to get arrested for doing this. This woman, her name is Parastoo Ahmadi. She did this in Iran. Yes, okay, Susanna saying we're going to cover this on the news show. So guys, subscribe because me and Susanna, we're going to cover this, okay? So we're going to talk more about the significance of this with Susanna in a few days. So make sure you subscribe. I'll also make sure you hit the bell notification because we're gonna cover it live. This was released 6 days ago, recorded in Iran. Only a few days, maybe only a day after the Islamic Republic announced a new law against the hijab, that it was one of their most aggressive laws against the, no, not against the hijab, against the woman being without hijab. One of the most aggressive mandatory hijab laws in Iran was just passed, with the most significant punishments for women being without hijab just got passed. And this was the response of Parastoo Ahmadi. It's not just that she's showing her hair, she's singing and she's showing so much skin. Do you want to? I'm going to play just a little bit of it because I know I'm going to get a copyright strike if I show. Wait, I want to. She's saying, I am looking for destiny. I want to hear her singing. I don't want to hear the music. I just want to hear, yeah, they're... سفر کنم ز تیر رنگ گذر کنم. Okay, so the whole concert, again, they recorded this. It's not in front of a live audience because if it was in front of a live audience, it would have been rated. It's interesting that this was pre-recorded, but they decided to keep the mic drop because it was kind of cute that she grabbed it midair. But the whole video, I'm not going to play more because I'm probably going to get a copyright strike. But I'm going to give you the link to the full video. I'm going to put it in the live chat. I'm going to also, after the show, I'm going to put it in the description. The whole thing is about 27 long, and it is freaking beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so professionally done. And again, remember, this is a woman inside of Iran doing this with the understanding that she will get arrested for this. And she did get arrested for it. Now she has a court date and everything. This is insane, insanely courageous, insanely courageous. Right at the moment that the regime is very, very concerned about its own supporters becoming less pro-regime, less hopeful in the regime, less supportive of the regime, because the regime is failing to enforce the job laws. And this woman comes and does this. Do you understand the significance of this? And if you don't understand the significance of this, I have a video to show you why this is so significant. Why? Answer me this in the live chat. Why does the regime, do you think the regime is so stupid to continue to want to enforce the job laws? Because a lot of you have this misunderstanding that Islamic radicals are just brain dead. They're not. They are strategic. Okay. So you understand, if you were part of the Islamic Republic, you're getting effed from all sides, right? You are in a very, very dangerous situation. You have a secular, liberal-minded people, Iranians, rising up against you. You have Israel on your doorsteps, destroying all your proxies, removing all your deterrent capabilities. And now, more importantly, you have a bunch of maniacs that you have created as a means of controlling people, but now they have turned on you, which are these religious maniacs, which was Frankenstein's monster is turning on against Dr. Frankenstein himself, because you promised them an Islamic regime, and this Islamic regime is weak against Israel and weak in enforcing Islamic laws. So remember, the two blades of the scissor that is coming for the regime is Israel and hijab. Israel and hijab. You know, if you are a religious person who wants a government for the Mahdi, a land for the Mahdi, that your main priorities are my government should enforce Islam, and women walking without hijab in Iran shows that my government is incapable of enforcing Islam. And if I see Israel coming out and humiliating my regime, means that my government is weak against the enemies of Islam, against the Jews. And this is not the Islamic Republic that we bled for. This is not the Islamic Republic that we gave martyrs for, that we did a revolution for. So that's the third threat. So why? So I already gave you the answer, actually. So because a lot of people focus on the liberal opposition and how big of a threat they are to the regime, they don't understand why would the regime continue to insist on enforcing hijab laws, given that so many Iranians are turning against the regime. Wouldn't their own survival make them want to just chill out a little bit? Well, no, because the main threat to the regime is their own supporters, the maniacs who want an Islamic Republic. If you lose them, the regime will topple. So this is why they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They don't know. They're trying to keep doing trial and error. Which way should we go? Should we tone it down and basically appease all these liberal people who are high in number, or should we go extra hard and appease these religious maniacs who are actually crazier, and they're also part of the regime? And if we lose them, we will lose everybody. We will have no base anymore, right? And I have a clip that, guys, this was my analysis for years now, okay? And I have been vindicated. I have so many clips to demonstrate that my analysis is correct. So this is an analysis. These are two pro-regime analysts, okay? And pro-regime analysts are now more recently analyzing things that Khamenei doesn't like. For example, this guy is Ali Alizadeh. Is it Ali Nejad or Ali Zadeh? I always forget his name. Ali Zadeh or Ali Nejad. Yeah, Ali Zadeh, I'm correct. Okay. So the guy on the left represents a pro-regime leftist Marxist kind of person. So not a religious type. So remember, we have in Iran many people who support the regime. They're not religious maniacs. They're anti-imperialist leftists. Okay, so we have two people representing two different kinds of support for the Islamic Republic. Both of them are Iranian. Both of them are pro-regime. The guy on the left is a leftist, anti-imperialist, pro-regime Iranian who supports the regime because they're anti-US, because they're anti-Israel. That form of nonsense. And the guy on the right is more a traditional Islamic type pro-regime guy, right? So this guy on the left, who is very famous, is called Ali Alizadeh. He and many other pro-regime people, their analysis are becoming devastating for the Islamic Republic, because they are more and more admitting how weak the axis of resistance is coming, and they're telling the regime that they need to change their way, or else Israel will come and just wipe them all out. Okay, they are very, very afraid. Okay. And by the way, this pro-regime guy, Ali Alizadeh, sometimes the other pro-regime religious guy attack him for him not having religious narratives, for him looking at everything through a leftist narrative. So there's some internal fight there as well. Anyways, in this analysis that I'm going to play for you guys, you're going to see Ali Alizadeh asking this other guy, why are we at this situation and where everything is effed? Why are we now introducing a freaking aggressive hijab law? Doesn't that seem insane? And the answer of this analyst from the other guy just shows that this channel, the Atheist Republic, is the best place for you to come to get your Iran analysis. Okay, so watch this. If I
آقای دکتر
امتیاز میده.
منصور زمانی فر میگه چرا جمهوری اسلامی در این شرایط به هم ریخته میخواد یه جبهه داخلی یعنی قانون حجاب رو هم باز کنه و پازل دشمن رو تکمیل کنه.
Okay, so here's a audience question. Okay, guys, get ready for this. We have so many super chats. After this, I will read the super chats. Okay, he's saying Mansoor in the live chat is asking, why is the Islamic Republic in such a situation where everything is effed, where everything is now in turmoil? Why is now internally they're introducing the hijab law, such a hijab law, so that they could make everything complete for the enemies of the Islamic Republic? Is basically saying this Mansoor, who is pro in the live chat, who is pro regime himself, he's saying that the Islamic Republic with this hijab law is making our hands, we the enemies of the Islamic Republic, our hands are more full. Like they're basically giving us a full set with this new law. Okay, so that's the question that they're asking the other guy. So watch this.
این جواب این سوال به درد شما میخوره و سوال این روز هاست چون الان بالاخره ما در
like the answer to this question is very useful to us, and this is the question that people are asking.
داخل می‌بینیم که بحثی شبیه بحث خانم مهسا.
So I'm saying, why indeed is a big mystery. Well, I gave you the answer, and you'll see this.
را میفته به اشکال مختلف و
Oh, wait, he's saying. So now Ali Alizadeh himself is adding to that question. He's basically confirming that this is a good question.
به اشکال مختلف بالاخره ما در داخل هم می‌بینیم که بحثی شبیه بحث خانم مهسا امینی داره راه میفته.
So, and Ali Alizadeh is now adding, he's saying like, this is a good question because now we're seeing inside Iran, there are more narratives like the Mahsa revolution, like that's coming back.
اشکال مختلف و یک نفر دیگه میگه که آیا نگران اغتشاش در بغداد و تهران نیستید؟ آیا پرستو صالحی، حالا پرستو صالحی نیست اسمش اشتباه نشم، پرستو محمدی فکر کنم یا حامدی، مهسا امینی جدید
احمدی. Okay. So
نیستش و این هم واقعا این تصویر.
So they actually mentioned Parastoo Ahmadi, the woman that I showed you singing. They're mentioning her as well. Like they're like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you worried about these things?
مهسا امینی جدید نیستش.
پرستو احمدی.
و این هم واقعا این تصویری که ما الان با ناآرامی‌ها در ایران و در بغداد بر روبرو بشیم و این هست.
Like we have so many things that we have to deal with. We have chaos inside Iran and in Baghdad. So basically, they're worried that Iraq is going to be next. So basically, Israel, we lost Gaza, we lost Lebanon, now we lost Syria, and a lot of these people are worried that now Iraq and Yemen is going to be next. Like everything, and people in Iraq are actually rising now. A lot of people in Iraq have now become emboldened because they see in Syria people have rised up against the axis of resistance, and so many people in Iraq are like, yeah, we want the Islamic Republic out of our country as well. So they're worried about that.
چرا ولی اون سوال قبلی من شما بپرسم آیا جمهوری اسلامی با این بحث حجاب داره پازل دشمن تکمیل میکنه؟
So he's saying, yeah, so let's ask a question again. Isn't the Islamic Republic making the narrative of our enemies complete with this whole hijab thing?
اینکه حجاب دستور اسلامی که شکی درش نیست ولی
So he's saying the fact that Islam is a command by Islam, there's no doubt in that. Okay, so this guy, the guy on the left doesn't care about these Islamic narratives as much, but this guy, first of all, the guy on the right, which has more an Islamic mindset, he wants to make sure that before he gives his strategic answer, he covers his base with his religious supporters. Okay, because if I was a religious fan of him, if he gave me a strategic reason rather than an Islamic reason, I would be like, wait a minute, shouldn't you just say we should have Islamic laws because God says so? What are you talking about this strategic nonsense? God says so, so that's the end of this discussion. But he wants to give a strategic response. So he starts by saying, well, I mean, this is mandated by Islam, so there's no doubt in that, just to cover his ass. And now he continues.
این بحث حوزه کار ما نیست. مثلا من در همین حد عرض کنم خدمتتون که
Okay, so he's saying this is not part of our discussion, like the whole Islamic scholarship is not part of our discussion, but let me add something
مرتبط
else.
با اون بحث ابتدایی ما هستش. یک سری جوون ما داریم که اگر
This is important. He's saying we have a certain amount of young people in Iran. Guys, listen to every single word translation that is coming out of my mouth carefully. Okay, he says we have a certain number of young people in
برای
Iran.
کشور مشکل ایجاد بشه این جوونا باید برن جلوی تیر. جایی نیست.
These young people are the people that if something happens to our country, these are the people that we have that they will go in front of the bullets. Meaning that there are certain people that we have, are armed people, that these are the people who will risk their lives for our cause. That's what he means, okay?
و میره. برای چی میرن؟
And they will go and they will risk their
به
lives.
خاطر اینکه احساس می‌کنستش که این جمهوری اسلامی این جوونا مذهبی هستن.
He said, why would they go risk their lives? Why would these people, if our country is in danger, why would these people go stand in front of the bullets? Because they think that this is an Islamic republic and these people are religious, these young people are religious,
حکومت از خودشون میدونن.
and they consider the government to be of theirs, of their own,
داوطلب میشن برای
and these people volunteer.
رفتن جلوی تیر. هنوز هم داریم.
These people volunteer to go in front of the bullets, to go stand in front of the bullets, to risk their lives.
این فرد اگر احساس بکنه این حکومت دیگه خیلی اسلامی نیست.
This person, this type of person, if he thinks that this government is not Islamic anymore,
دیگه خیلی اسلامی نیست. این برای چی باید بره جلوی تیر؟
why would he go stand in front of a bullet? Do you guys see? Do you guys understand why the government in Iran still has to insist in enforcing the hijab laws?
اینجا خواهشی که داریم از این حضراتی که در کشور
So he says that the request I have from these people. So, for example, the person who's asking this
مسئول
question.
هستن که این ذهن
Oh no! Wait, from the people who are from the officials in the
کشور
regime.
مسئول هستن که این ذهن
Yes, from the regime officials.
ذهنیت کاری نکنن که این ذهنیت در ذهن جوانهای حزب اللهی تر جامعه ایجاد بشه که این
So I asked the regime officials to not do something so that these young people would have this understanding. Maybe that this regime is not Islamic anymore and not worthy of my sacrifice.
حکومت هم شبیه ما تو پاکستان جمهوری اسلامی نداریم مثل جمهوری اسلامی پاکستان.
So like he's like, don't make us a Pakistan, okay? Meaning that don't turn us into a Pakistan. Basically, he means a country that is named an Islamic Republic, but is not Islamic, okay? So he's like, be careful not to turn into Pakistan. Because Islamic Republic, Iran now has an Islamic Republic government. Pakistan has also an Islamic Republic government, and they think that Pakistan's government is not Islamic.
احساس نکنن جمهوری اسلامی ایران هم میشه جمهوری اسلامی پاکستان.
So like make sure that these young people don't feel like the regime, the Islamic Republic of Iran has turned into something like the Islamic Republic of Pakistan.
این احساس اگر ایجاد بشه اون آدم‌هایی که باید از کشور دفاع بکنن دفاع نخواهند کرد.
If we have such a mentality, and such a feeling among these people, the people who have to defend the country will not defend the country.
ایران تبدیل میشه به سوریه ارتشش نمیشه.
And Iran will turn into Syria and its army would not fight. Which is a good segue to what I have to show you next.
این بحث حجاب یک بعد سیاست خارجی پیدا میکنه که در این حد.
Oh, and he's saying this hijab, the hijab discussion, based on what he says, it has a foreign policy dynamic to it.
اجازه بدید من دیگه ورود پیدا نکنم.
Oh, and he says, please allow me not to talk about this anymore. This was a huge
امروز باید اجرا بشه هفته دیگه باید اجرا بشه اینا دیگه بحث.
So we have to enforce this. We have to enforce the hijab laws today, the next week. Guys, this is why the Iranian women are warriors. Just like Israel is putting pressure from the outside, the Iranian women who are walking inside Iran without the hijab, they are eating the regime from within. Do you understand the effect that they're having? Do you understand why this woman is a warrior? Because this woman, with what she is doing, she is demonstrating the weakness of the regime. She is showing to the religious psychopath who would sacrifice their lives for the regime that this regime is incapable of enforcing hijab laws. And by doing this, she's turning the pro-regime religious maniacs in Iran against the regime. The wild dogs that the regime had raised to bite the people, this woman, with this act, she's making them go after the regime itself. This is why she's a warrior. Do you understand this? I want you to understand this.